What's good? What's good, people? What's good, people? Skin the Hardaway. Skin the Hardaway 7T. Back with another EP. And today I'm here with the fight breakdown prediction. This weekend's fight. Kiko Martinez versus Josh Warrington. This is a rematch between Kiko Martinez and Josh Warrington. So these guys are familiar with each other. The first fight between the two, we saw Josh Warrington come out victorious. Josh Warrington won by split decision. Really, in a fight that really could have went either way. Now, that was about, 5 years ago, 2017, 2018. Kiko Martinez gave Josh Warrington everything he could handle. You know what I mean? Gave him everything he could handle. I'm going to go and get into it. Let me salute the people that's in the building first. Shout out my guy. Hold on, let me scroll up a little bit. Shout out my guy, Yoda. What's good, OG? My co-host. Appreciate you sliding through this joint, Yoda. What's good? My brother, Just Do. He said, my bros, T and Crush salute. What's good with it, fellas? Got a nice one roll, ready to put it in the air. What's the good word? We about to get to this fight breakdown and prediction this morning. Tony Bell, King, what's good? Salute. Corey Sanders, G. Appreciate you sliding through this, John. He said, predictions back. Yes, sir. I'm back on the grind, man. I'm back on my prediction grind. Make sure y'all here for this. Because this is how robbing the bookie was invented. This is how robbing the bookie was started. I used to do fight breakdown and prediction videos heavy. Used to do them heavy. Now I'm bringing them back because these videos are fun for me. Today we got Kiko Martinez versus Josh Warrington. Case of void. Damn it, man. What's good, King? Glad you could make it. Glad you could make it, King. Glad to see y'all good folks in the building. Y'all do your boy a favor, like that video, share, subscribe, all that good shit. But let's go and get into it. Kiko Martinez versus Josh Warrington. This is the rematch. We got Kiko Martinez, who's 43-10 with 2 draws and 30 KOs. First look, Kiko Martinez got more knockouts than I thought he had. He got 30 KOs in about 50 fights. I think that's pretty goddamn impressive. Kiko Martinez, 43-10-2. He's 36 years old. He stands at 5'5" with a 66-inch arm reach. He's coming off a 6-round TKO over Kid Gallahan. Now, Kiko Martinez upset Kid Gallahan in this fight. Kid Gallahan was seen as the better fighter, was seen as the favorite. He actually took Kid Gallahan's belt in this fight. You know what I mean? So he upset Kid Gallahan in their last fight. He has losses against Gary Allen, Leo Santa Cruz, and also what I was talking about earlier, he has a split decision loss about 4 or 5 years ago to Josh Warrington, who he's fighting this Saturday for the belt. His opponent, Josh Warrington. Josh Warrington is 31-1 with 7 KOs. First thing that jumped out to me about Josh Warrington is I thought Josh Warrington had more KOs. Josh Warrington has had 30 fights and 7 KOs. Not really fond of that ratio, you know what I mean? Thought he was a bigger puncher than that, but it is what it is. He beat Kiko Martinez in a split decision last time they fought. He's coming off a no contest to Mauricio Lara, and before that, he was coming off a loss to Mauricio Lara in which he got stopped. But he has wins over Carl Frampton. He has wins over Lee Selby. He has wins over Kid Gallahan. And he has a majority decision win over Kiko Martinez. And I'm going to start right there. Josh Warrington only has 1 loss, right? But he's one of those guys. I'm not going to say he's been falling off as of late, but he's one of those guys where I could kind of see that, maybe it's age or maybe it's the many battles of his career. Maybe it's the style in which Josh Warrington fights. But he's one of those guys where I feel like lately, the fights are starting to catch up to him. His competition is starting to catch up to him. You know what I mean? He went to a fight with Mauricio Lara, which he was the favorite, which I expected him to win, and he ended up getting stopped. You know what I mean? By Mauricio Lara. He ended up getting stopped by Mauricio Lara. What's good, Dwayne Freeman? Glad you could come through this, John. Glad you can make it, King. Can y'all do your boy a favor? Hit that like button. We ain't gonna be here too long this morning on this one, fight breakdown and prediction. What's good, Ben Hamilton? Can y'all do your boy a favor? Can y'all hit that like button when y'all roll on in? Greatly appreciate that. And I mean, Josh Warrington is getting to the point in his career where he's getting touched up more in his fights. He even got knocked out against Mauricio Lara. And just to get more in depth, his last fight against Kiko Martinez, He won by split decision. I believe that fight could have went either way. I'm not gonna sit up here and call robbery. It was a tough fight, close fight either way. Clearly, you know it was because he won by split decision. And again, his win against Lee Selby. Warrington has, some pretty decent wins. He got a win against Lee Selby, but even that win was a split decision. You know what I mean? He also has a win over Kid Galahad, in which Kiko Martinez, just beat for this belt in this fight that they're doing now. Kiko Martinez just beat Kid Galahad, and Josh Warrington had a split decision win over Kid Galahad. Now, I say all that to say this. He had a split decision with Kiko Martinez some years ago. He had a majority decision with Kiko Martinez. He had a split decision with Kid Galahad, split decision with Lee Selby, and he had a UD win over Carl Frampton. I'm saying that to say this. I kind of think that Lara's age and fights are catching up with him. He's getting easier to be touched. And what stood out to me also, the fight in which Kiko Martinez just beat up Kid Galahad, right? Was good, A1. The fight was good, Brown. Dwayne Freeman. The fight where Kiko Martinez just beat up Kid Galahad. Kid Galahad was winning that fight easy. Like, Kiko Martinez didn't look too good in that fight until he caught up with Kid Galahad and ended up stopping him. But before that, I had Kid Galahad winning that fight comfortably. I said that to say Josh Warrington had a split decision win over Kid Galahad. Kiko Martinez's win over Kid Galahad would have been a landslide victory for Kid Galahad if Kid Galahad didn't get knocked out. I also think we should factor in the age of Kiko Martinez. At this time, he's 36 years old, and we got Warrington. I think he was 31, if I'm not mistaken. He's 31 years old. Kiko Martinez is 36. Kiko Martinez didn't look too impressive in his win over Kid Galahad. Everything outside of the knockout, Kid Galahad was losing that fight. You know what I mean? So in this fight, even though I think Lara is I keep calling him Lara, even though I think Warrington is not as good as he once was, I think Warrington might be on the back end. No, he's not fighting Lara. Kiko Martinez is fighting Josh Warrington. Although I feel like Josh Warrington might be on the back end. You know what I mean? I still think he has enough to beat Kiko Martinez in this fight, strictly based off of the fact that Kiko Martinez didn't look good in his last fight. He did win his last fight by knockout against Kid Galahad. But again, to me, he was losing every round. Maybe if Kiko Martinez was 31 and he had another chance to fight, Lara, when Kiko was 31, he might be able to get him. But Kiko didn't look too good in his last fight. I think he, I ain't gonna say he got lucky because he did, set up Kid Galahad for that right hand that he knocked Kid Galahad out with. But I don't see Lara, and Lara was knocked out in his fight. I mean, not Lara. I keep calling him Lara. I keep calling Warrington Lara because Lara beat him. I keep calling Josh Warrington Lara because Lara beat him. But Josh Warrington did get knocked out by Lara 2 fights ago when he came back against Lara, and then they ended up getting a no contest due to headbutts. You know what I mean? So Warrington didn't look just overly great in his last 2 fights, but I think Warrington still has enough in his gas tank. I think Warrington still has enough right now to be able to go in here. Okay, K, appreciate you, K. I still think he has time. I still think Lara has enough ability to go in here and be able to outbox Kiko Martinez, who was getting outboxed in his last fight up until he got that knockout. You know what I mean? In this fight, I think it's kind of going to look similar to the first fight, but I think Josh Warrington wins this fight easier than he won the first fight between these two, between Warrington and Kiko Martinez. That was about 5 years ago. Josh Warrington's 31, Kiko Martinez is 36. I think Josh Warrington, although I'm not as high on him as I used to be, he's been looking vulnerable lately. I think Josh Warrington will be able to pull this out over Kiko Martinez. So I just gave you my fight breakdown. I gave you the breakdown of the fight. I'm getting into my prediction stage of this fight right here. I see this fight going 12 rounds, and I see Josh Warrington winning this fight unless Kiko Martinez is able to catch him with a flying blinding right hand like he caught Kid Gallahan with. I see Josh Warrington being able to outbox him. There is a slight chance that he could not, Josh Warrington out. Josh Warrington showed against Lara that he could be knocked out. You know what I mean? So there's that element. Kiko Martinez is a veteran. He knows where to put his punches. He's not as active as he used to be, as active inside the ring, throw as many punches. He likes to kind of walk his opponents down to land his shots. You know what I mean? He normally has a shorter reach, but Josh Warrington only has a 1-inch reach advantage over him, which made this fight interesting the first time. You know what I mean? But Kiko Martinez has slowed down since the first fight, and so has Josh Warrington too, as well. But Kiko has about 5 years on him, and I just see Josh Warrington being able to control him and outbox him in order to win this fight. There is a slight chance that Kiko Martinez could catch Warrington and put his lights out, hit him on the button, just like he caught Kid Gallahan and put him on the button. So there's still that aspect, of it. But I'm pretty confident that Josh Warrington will be victorious against Kiko Martinez, especially if it goes to the car. You know what I mean? Josh Warrington, both of these fighters fight on the zone. I don't think Martinez was put in his last fight to win his last fight. You know what I mean? He was the underdog against Kid Gallahan. I think maybe they were setting up Gallahan versus Warrington, and Kiko Martinez ended up knocking Kid Gallahan out, and now we're here. But in this fight, I'm going to have to go with Josh Warrington. I'm going to go with Josh Warrington by unanimous decision. I think he's going to be just a little too active for Kiko Martinez at this point, and I don't see Kiko Martinez, getting lucky, or I don't see him, hurting Josh Warrington enough to the point where he could get Josh Warrington, to go down or to bend or break in this fight. Don't see him being able to catch Josh Warrington with that punch like he caught Kid Gallahan, especially with, Josh Warrington being on high alert now after his Lara knockout, and also after seeing Kid Gallahan get upset by Kiko Martinez to begin with. But that's what I got in this fight. I got Josh Warrington by unanimous decision over Kiko Martinez this weekend, Saturday, March 26th on the zone. So lock it in. That's my first pick. I'm going to be dropping these fight predictions all day. You know what I mean? I got a Sudden T later coming on. Earl Spence, said some news. Earl Spence said some news, you know what I mean, that I want to share with y'all. We going to be there later. I got another fight prediction coming up after this one. I'm doing the main events first, and I'm going to give y'all some undercards. I got Terrell Gaethje coming up. Terrell Gaethje versus Tim Tszyu. I got that fight prediction coming up pretty soon. You might want to tune into that. I think that one going to be highly interesting. I got some stuff in there that you might want to hear. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you these betting odds on Kiko Martinez and Josh Warrington. Because before I get up out, I gave you my pick. I got Josh Warrington by UD. You know what I mean? That's my pick. Told you guys that there is a chance that Kiko may be able to catch him, but I'm not banking on that. You know what I mean? I'm about to give you the odds for Josh Warrington and Kiko Martinez. Now all of the odds are up yet, but Kiko Martinez versus Josh Warrington is one of the ones that's up. So I'm gonna give you those odds, those betting odds, so you can look at it, see what you want to do with it, type deal. But we got Kiko Martinez is the underdog in this fight. Kiko Martinez is the underdog in this fight, and he's coming in at plus 275. We got Josh Warrington, who's the favorite. He's coming in at negative 350. Plus 275 means, you get that added on to your dollar. So if you bet $1, you win $3.75. If you bet $100, you win $375. You bet 1,000, you win 3,000, 750. You know what I mean? So you got Kiko Martinez, who's minus 350. You got Kiko Martinez, who's plus 275. You got Josh Warrington, who's minus 350. So there you go. I got Josh Warrington by 12-round decision over Kiko Martinez this weekend. There you go. Those are my picks. Lock it in. Win you some money this weekend. Rob the bookie. all that good stuff. Josh Warrington by UD. But that's all I got, man. Skin the Hardaway Southern T. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love. Make sure you like, subscribe, share to the channel. Check out the previous Southern Tees. I'll be doing Terrell Geisha versus Tim Zoo real soon. So be on the lookout. Shout out my boy K Savoy in the super chat. He said got to go to work, make some change. Appreciate your K Savoy. Shout out everybody that came through this jump. My guy Ghost, my guy A1 Hoops on, my guy Just Do Boxing, my guy Ben Hamilton, my guy Dwayne Freeman, my guy Tony Bill, my guy Corey Sanders, my guy Yoda Crutch. Appreciate all y'all good folks coming through this joint. Catch me on the next fight breakdown and prediction.